I'm going to take each of the two equations and I'm going to number them. All right, so that would be a good starting place. I'm going to take equation number 1 and I'm going to move it over here. And I'm going to write down the important pieces of what I see in equation number 1. Remember that our goal is to get it in y equals mx plus b form, where I can write down what the slope is. And the slope is going to be my m, which we're supposed to know is going to be the change in y over the change in x. Okay? And then my b is my y-intercept. And the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. So those are the things that we're supposed to know. We good on that? I think, I hope. All right, so now I'm going to be with my first equation. It's in the form I want it to be. So what's my m? -1/3. And what's my b? 4. Okay, so I have that information. I'm going to graph it. So I'm going to go down to my graph. All right, and I'm going to start where? Yeah, I'm going to start at the y-intercept. So on the y-axis at +4, 1, 2, 3, sometimes it's hard to see, 4, that's my y-intercept. That's where the graph is going to cross the y-axis. So there's a point on my graph already. Now from that point, I'm going to use my slope. Remember, the change in x is in the bottom, and then the change in the y is in the top. So know what you're doing first. I'm going to go +3, so to the right 3, followed by a -1 in the y. So to the right 3, and then down 1. So here I go. To the right 3. 1, 2, 3. Down 1. 1. To the right 3. 1, 2, 3. Down 1. You can do it again if you want, or that would be enough. You have 3 points that line up. I need a ruler. Don't borrow Alyssa's ruler though. You get crooked lines with that ruler. Okay, I don't have a ruler, so oh well. What do I want to do? I'll make one. Make a ruler. Take a piece of paper, fold it a couple times. There's my ruler. I'm going to line my 3 dots up. I'm going to draw a line all the way through the coordinate plane, all the way through, put arrows on the end, and then what's the last thing I have to make sure I do to make sure I get full credit? Label it. Y, I'm going to label it up here. Try to label it outside of where you think everything is going to be happening. 1/3 x plus 4. All right, now that line's done.
Plus 4.
Oh, I said B. My fault. Thank you. Plus 4. Thanks. Next equation, equation number 2. Right here, y plus x is equal to 8. What form do I want to get it in? Solve for y. What do I do to both sides? Subtract x. Write it in mx plus b form, so I'm going to write the x first, minus x plus 8. Now remember, the 8 was originally positive, so it should be a plus 8 here. And when you're subtracting x, you get a negative in front. Well, having a negative in front, what's the slope of that line going to be? -1, and then write it as a fraction. And then what's the b going to be? Positive 8. Okay? So, now coming back to the graph. Whoops, let's back out. Coming back to the graph, I'm going to start where? At the 8. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7. It's tough to see on this graph, but that's about 8. Definite point on the graph. And then from that point, how am I going to work my slope? To the right one and then down 1. Good. So to the right one and down 1. To the right one and down 1. Right? To the right one and down 1. I think I'm doing that right. So there it is. Take your ruler out, line them up. Draw a line right through the entire coordinate plane. All right, I'm excited now because I see where it's going to connect. I'm going to label my line though. Don't get too excited. Y plus x is equal to 8. Okay? And why do we do this? What are we looking for? Point where they intersect. Understand that every point on this red line satisfies equation number 2. Every point on this pencil line satisfies the equation y equals negative 1/3 x plus 4. The point that satisfies them both is going to be that point of intersection. We have to state it. Remember, you state a point by looking at the x first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, comma what? Is that 2? 6 comma 2. That means this is my solution set, or you can write it this way. X equals 6 and y is equal to 2. You can write it this way as well, whatever you feel more comfortable with. We okay? Okay? And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to check. So I'm going to write the check down here on the bottom. See if I can blow this up a little bit so you can see it. All right, the way we check is we write down the word check, and we write down what we're checking. X equals 6, y is equal to 2. You can write it that way or a point. 6 comma 2. Doesn't matter. I'm going to check it in equation 1 first. That's why I number my equations. Well, equation 1 looks like this. Y is equal to negative 1/3 x plus 4. I don't plug anything in yet. I just write it down. Now I'm going to plug in my x and y. Is 2 equal to negative 1/3 times 6 plus 4? Well, I got 2. What happens to this 3 and the 6? They're going to cancel and give me what? 2. What's negative 1 times 2? Negative 2 plus 4. Is 2 equal to, what's a negative 2 plus 4? 2. Yep, it is. Check. And then I got to check the other one too. The other equation, the original y plus x is equal, y plus x is equal to 8. Well, y is 2 plus 6 is equal to 8. What's 6 plus 2? And we're good.